Evening, welcome to another session of the Gooner booth. It's another Everything Arsenal podcast. We're here to take the depression away because the international break's here. My God, is that a nuisance? Welcome, Wayne. Good evening. You okay?
Yeah, good evening, mate. You've just summed it right up for me, mate. This is I know Arsenal only played on Saturday, but yeah, the thought of a further 2 weeks turn of this, of not having any football, mate, is depressing. But yeah, good evening to you, mate. You all right?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I think we've come up with some topics to discuss today.
Yeah,
Um, one thing that please, please like and subscribe, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
yeah. Thank you,
The
guys.
love's been brilliant. We're now up to 75 subscribers. That's unreal. Thank you for all your support. And we hope to bring more videos to you in the future. Get involved with the debate. We'll put your questions on the screen tonight. There's a few questions we're going to be asking each other, and it's going to be a good debate this evening.
Yeah,
The first thing I want to get out there, we're not about politics and all that stuff, and I'm not interested in discussing that on this show. One thing that I do want to mention, Gary Neville has literally populated every single news outlet today
yeah,
with his comments. I'm not going to go into what he said, right? Because I think everyone knows. If you live under a rock, you would have known what he said, right? Now, he really pissed me off. Not in what he said, couldn't care less about what he said, but football is an escape for a lot of people, right? There's a
yeah,
lot of stuff going on in the world. We won't go into that either. So I really think he's a fucking idiot for even saying anything, right? You're a commentator on Sky Sports. Just fucking stay in your lane, right?
yeah,
It's not, you're a commentator. Just do your thing, right? And all you've done is upset a lot of people that literally watch football to escape real
yeah,
life, right? Because it's everyone looks forward to their Saturday. They're on the sofa watching Sky Sports, which they pay their well-earned money on, by the way,
mm,
and they've got to listen to that twat now. And all he's done is just piss people off because he's said
yeah.
stupid shit, right? And he just shouldn't get involved. That's all I'm going to say on that. Let's get on with the show. But yeah, first question in the news that I see: Arsenal looking to increase their stadium, so 70,000 capacity. Um, what what do you think about that, Wayne? I think it's a good idea. I think,
Uh,
but
Yeah,
as I say,
sorry, Tone. I
oh,
think I've heard sort of like rumours that apparently when we built the stadium, we made sort of like future proofed it by allowing it to be expanded in a certain way, in terms of how we built it, and I think it makes complete sense. In terms of we bought on a private message. In return, I mean, the ballot is crazy. I mean, there's Arsenal fans out there that are just absolutely pulling their hair out with it.
yeah,
Whether they change it, Tone, but at least people are saying it's not necessarily going to change much. But I think that's 10,000 extra seats. We're in the Champions League consistently now. We're back where we belong, and I think obviously this is sort of like long overdue. I mean, what is it this year? Next year, sorry, is coming up 20 years. So what more fitting way to expand the stadium as well?
yeah. It's gone quick, isn't it?
Ridiculous, mate. Yeah,
2006. I remember when it
yeah.
opened. Dennis Bergkamp testimonial.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
you
not.
look at it, Tone. I loved Highbury, but it was my view was restricted with 38,000 people there, and obviously you're taking
Impossible.
away
Yeah,
take away the away fans every match day. It was tough to get tickets there, but I loved it. I loved the stadium, the history of it. It's obviously the football club I love, but we only got opportunities, major opportunities, to go see Arsenal since they've been at the Emirates. We were getting tickets. I was getting tickets at first, and then we were sharing it sharing, we had a season ticket we just share, and it's been a stadium that has helped us, you know, re sort of like watch the club live as opposed to being them young kiddies watching on TV, hoping, to have an opportunity. It wasn't always there for us. So this is another one where I think they need to, if they're going to expand the capacity, Tone, they need to change the tiering of the tickets of how you can get them. What was wrong with how it was done last time? What's wrong with
yeah.
having you got your season tickets, and the season ticket holders, if they can't go, put it on the ticket
Ticket
exchange,
exchange. Yeah,
and then you got the silver. What it was gold or something or silver,
yeah,
and it would release, and you've done
yeah.
it, and you go, Wayne, do you want a ticket? I'm going online. I'm like, yeah, of course, Tone. Now we got to pay you into a ballot. to have half a chance. It's not right, mate. So I think that's, as much as I'm excited about it, and I still, this ballot system should be scrapped.
Although I think for someone that I work in for finance for a living, right? And we actually, I remember done some numbers, right? So everyone pays £1 to enter the ballot. I don't know if it's changed, right? If I think it's like 200, there's 250,000 red members, right? Everyone puts in £1. They're making good money, right?
Just and you
it's a business model.
Most people ain't got a chance, Tone, have they?
No, but they're still going to go in the ballot, and they make you enter the ballot to even have access to the ticket exchange.
Exactly.
So I think, Joe, one thing that I noticed against West Ham at home, and it really frustrated me because it's ridiculously hard to get tickets for an Arsenal game, right? And most of my tickets are for people that I know at the moment. I've got a red membership, but it's literally one season waiting list. It's nearly impossible, right? But one thing that does wind me up in the West Ham game, the amount of empty seats. We mentioned it in our chat.
You mentioned it,
The amount of empty seats. And you see when you see Calafiori go take a throw in, look behind him, all the empty seats, and you can't tell me they're gone for a piss, right? Because them seats are empty all game. So it's ridiculous. Because
I'm with you, Tom.
Given the opportunity, I'm sure we'd be at every single home game.
Listen, it would upset the missus, but we would. I'd love to. I'd love to go 9 every game. Do you know what I mean? It's other than obviously working on a Saturday, I can't go. 3 o'clock kickoffs would be tight, but I'd go. I'd try my best, to get to every game. But you're right, Tone. You're 100% right.
I mean, I'm all for increasing the stadium. There's probably going to be a lot of work around to do that.
Did you hear? Sorry, Tone, and what's your feelings of we might have to move to Wembley, mate, while they're increasing the capacity?
Well, it'll give everyone access to another 30,000 seats.
We might be able to go every game, mate.
Get a ticket. Get a ticket. No, it's good if we can do that. But I just hope the 10,000 extra aren't for the prawn sandwich brigade.
Yeah, give it to the club. Give it to us guys. You know
give
what I mean?
Give it to the fans.
Give it to the fans. Give it to the paupers down below.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. Moving on. Question. Right. So there's been loads of debate about this. Yeah. And is Victor Gyökeres really the striker Arsenal needed? Right. And there's been one of the debates that have come out. Right. All the Man United supporters are coming out their box. They beat Sunderland 2-0. Calm down. Right. You beat Sunderland 2-0 at home.
Yeah.
And Benjamin Sesko, or should we say Tesco, has come back on the card in the discussion of who's better, right?
Yeah.
Now, Gyökeres has played 7, scored 3. He hasn't got any assists, right? But it's not fair. I still don't think it's fair to compare the guy yet. 7 games in. The one thing that I will say is the amount of ground that guy covers per game is unreal. And if you watch the Declan Rice goal against West Ham, you will see the space he created with his pressing. He's pressing quickly. He watch him. If you don't, it is, and I think the problem that we've got two problems, right? The striker in this day and age with the current tactics, it's very hard to get him behind a team. Yeah. And if you look at all of our 7 games, whenever we had opportunities where he's got a chance of going behind.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And then the other thing is, it's not about scoring goals. It's about what he's doing. It's the movement. It's all the other stuff. Yeah. So you can't compare him over 7 games. I think it's impossible. Yeah. But I was looking at some stats. He's in line with Ekitike. Ekitike scored the same amount of goals as him. All right, there might be an argument to say he hasn't started. He didn't start the last game. Isaac did. But if I've had people say, Ekitike is a lot better than Gyökeres. Haaland is a different player altogether, right? That guy's a machine. Even I could admit that. I hate City. I think that they're wankers. Rio, Bernardo Silva, and all the way they've been with us since Arteta come and joined us. But Haaland's a different kettle of fish for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, for the fact that he's getting, criticism already is a joke to me. And one thing that I will say is if is so bad, why is he starting ahead of Isaac for
in the
Sweden?
Swedish national team.
Answer that question for me. Isaac's
Exactly.
been thrown out on the left. He's playing through the middle. If Isaac's a better striker, then Gyökeres doesn't start. He starts on the bench. Isaac starts. If he's more of an elite striker. So there's my argument there. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, there's several things, and listen, we've discussed this off air, and I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can.
Before you keep
Yeah.
going, Wayne, I know you like to waffle. Before I start your waffle, there's a few people watching, guys, in the chat. Put your thoughts in the chat. Get involved in the conversation.
Please, guys. Yeah, ask the questions. We appreciate your views as well. Thank you, guys. Yeah, several things, Tone. Firstly, as well, was what Mikel said about Gyökeres after the game. He said, and this is, I'm quoting, and I'm kind of, it's not full on, but it's breaking it down as much as of what he said, not word for word, but basically he said, I went up to Gyökeres and I hugged him. He said, because I hugged him because he's worked hard. He's done, what he does on that pitch, he's doing everything I'm asking him to do. And John Dahl Tonnesson, who's if I've not butchered his name, is the Swedish manager. And he went, anyone that is saying about Gyökeres, you don't understand football. He's picking Gyökeres to start up front, like you've just said, and he's putting what's supposedly the best striker in the Premier League on the left to accommodate him. That's the reason. The reason you have to with Gyökeres, and it's unfair because you're not watching what that guy's doing. And I want to put an example in. When we had Eddie Nketiah, we were struggling, weren't we? Yeah. Now, I'm not here to bash Eddie Nketiah. Good luck to him at Crystal Palace. He is getting 2 defenders put on him, Tone, because they know what this guy can do if you leave him with space. He's getting wrestled, manhandled. He's battling them. What is that doing for the likes of Eza on the left and Saka on the right? What's it creating? It's creating space.
Yeah.
You have to 3 out of 7 as well. I think I don't know if it comes out on the Champions League. He's not scored yet, but I think that chance he had where it come off the keeper, I don't know if it classes as an assist, but he was very close to scoring, and then I think Martinelli tapped it in. But he worked hard, ball through the middle. He done all that hard work. Don't give me this Benjamin Tesco talk. I'm not having it. All right, I really ain't. 3 out of 7, goals. He will score. He will score goals. But if Mikel had a problem, Mikel would be playing. Put him on the bench, and he'll be playing Martinelli, Trossard, and Moreno up there, and going. And you think to yourself, you don't trust him here. He's played him, and he knows what he does. And he said it like last game. He thoroughly appreciates it, Tone. So Victor Gyökeres and Test. Listen. All it is, Tone, is the tacticos on the internet, Twitter, Sky Sports, wherever I want to be. Oh, we should have got to look at the ceiling of Shesko. But Victor Gyökeres, he's there. Is he going to be a Haaland level? No, do not compare him to Erling Haaland. Yeah, as you said, different kettle of fish. But Victor Gyökeres, what he's doing for us now is there's people online, sorry, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but there's people online, Arsenal fans, going, oh, now we're defending him and saying he's creating space. We didn't need that. We did.
Yeah.
Because we have not had a player given the amount of respect up front as Victor Gyökeres. Gabby Jesus can break low blocks down when he's on form, but Victor Gyökeres, Tone, it's the greatest compliment you can give him is that 2 players every game are on him. He is being manhandled. The problem I would say with his confidence of laying off, but you listen to any sporting fan, they'll say the exact same thing, is that he could frustrate you in that, but give him a moment in that box, he'll score. So for me, Tone, in ending, I just think he's doing what we want him to do.
Yeah. No, comment from boy, getting better each game fitness wise, probably after Crystal show best. Form, no pre-season. Yeah.
Yeah, cheers for that, mate. And that's a very, very good point. I've brought that up in previous videos, but you're 100% right. And I think Tony, you'll agree as well with that comment. He hasn't had a pre-season. And another thing I wanted to add before I forget, and I'm going to give it back to you, Tony. any player that wants to fight as much as he did to come to my football club, to play for the badge, to play for Arsenal, the Arsenal, he's good in my book, and he's got as much time as he needs. But he, in my opinion, he's getting better and better. It's just, you know, let's give him time. You know what I mean? He will score goals.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the problem that you might have, right, and this is where the critics come in, right? We've signed a striker because we needed goals, right?
Yeah.
So
But
that
sorry, Tone, doesn't that unlock? Sorry, I don't. But again, you're right. Sorry, I don't want to cut in, and please
no, go
don't
on,
fall.
go on.
Sorry, it's just it does annoy you because they're saying the people are saying we got him for goals, but I reckon you're like, you know, look, Saka can score more goals. He's got, because you remember as well, Saka has 2 or 3 people on him. They're
Yeah,
taking Gyökeres is taking players away from him. So yeah, sorry, Tone. I just want to make sure that that's where I think it will happen, you know. But you're right. But people are trying to compare him to an Erling Haaland type, banging in 50 goals in his first season. It's not going to happen. But you know, he's getting a lot of respect, and I think that's a good thing.
yeah, no, exactly. Look, I think that my only criticism of Gyökeres is he does need to hit the back of the net more. But the second point I was going to make earlier, and I didn't make it, because I forgot my trail of thought. Apologies, it's been a long day. Is we've got to start learning how to use him. There's been so many occasions where we like when Yeri is, I've seen the most do it, where they'll Declan Rice against West Ham done it as well. They drive through the midfield. He's made that. He dropped the shoulder and that run. Play it, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't get it, he doesn't get it. But if you keep doing it, he's going to stop making them run. But he does. You got to give him some credit in terms of his movement. His movement's unreal. Like, he must be a nightmare for defenders because he don't stop running. The guy don't stop moving. So that comment is spot on. I think Christmas time, that run of games.
Yeah.
I think we'll see. Yeah, my only problem, right, with Arteta, and we'll get into the next question very shortly, right?
Yep.
Is he gonna keep his place when Havertz is fit? Because I think Arteta loves Havertz, right? And I think, like Mourinho for a short period, he's gonna find space for Havertz in that team, right? And unfortunately, I think Gyökeres is going to be the sacrifice, and I hope that isn't the case.
I am. I hope so. I'm just going to interject, and I hope as well, Tone. I personally think that Gyökeres should be number 1. I think, as I said previously as well in other videos, I think Havertz being back could give you time to kind of give him a bit of a respite. But I think you can use Havertz behind Gyökeres. You don't sign a number 9 striker to have him on the bench. He should be playing. But you look at him, I would say as well, we will be such a dangerous outfit with Havertz because you can use Havertz alongside him. But I think, I know what you're saying. It's a legitimate worry. But you know, as well, I just want to quickly wade in before we move on, Tone, that there's also Arsenal fans within our fan base. Now, the fact of the matter is, you have any opinion and you are entitled to your opinion. But, you know, the main thing we want to see Arsenal win trophies, right? You cannot be sitting on the internet, typing on your keyboard and saying Havertz or Gyökeres. No, sorry. No, don't compare anyone. Right? Havertz is a completely different player. Havertz does not do what Gyökeres does in certain instances. He's an aerial. Well, Gyökeres' weakness is winning aerial duels. We've all seen that, and I think he's not going to be that kind of player. Tone. He's in the box, giving the ball, bang. He's strong. He's stronger than Havertz, but Havertz will play a different game. That's why I'm saying, you know, play together to take both strengths, especially against certain opposition. But yeah, please, guys, you're entitled to any opinion you want, but don't compare Havertz and Gyökeres. We just want one goal. One goal is to win trophies. Let's not start comparing who's better than what, especially up front. You know, they have different qualities, and at times we're going to need both of them qualities, Tone.
Cool. It's a nice segue on to the next question.
Yeah, matey.
Has Arteta finally found the right formula? I'll go first.
Of course, yeah. Listen, I've waffled for. Please, mate, you go first,
I'll
and,
get my
please tell
waffle
me
in
about.
before you get yours in. Yours is with ice
Yeah.
cream, mate. Fucking hell. Right.
Lucky I like you, Tone.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't think he has. I think the answer to that question is no. Right. Defensively, on point. Defensively on point. Got attacking wise. Again, that's why it's a nice segue. I don't think we know how to use Gyökeres. I don't think we're using him properly. I don't think we're supporting him in the right way in terms of we've got all these flair players. They're not trying, and I don't think they're used to looking up and going, right, I'm going to play that ball forward. Prime example, Manchester City, Eze looks up, plays ball over the top, Martinelli scores 1-0. Right, we don't do enough of that. And there's still this sideways passing, and yes, we got the penny against West Ham. But my question to you would have been, at 1-0, do we score the second goal in open play?
Yeah, it's a good question, Tone. But personally as well, it's one of them games. I don't know if it's kind of like a mentality thing. Obviously, coming away from that kind of game, as much as it sounds silly, when you've lost 1-0 and 2-0 in the last 2 years against this team, coming away with a victory, anyhow you get it, is a bonus because it's 3 points more than you got in the 2 previous seasons. And the season before when they beat us 2-0, if I'm not missed, was it 1-0? Babe, all I've
No,
got from work,
Skelly getting sent off.
and Skelly got sent off, and then a year before. But all I got from work is, if you look at it, this is what the guys are saying: we cost you the title. But it's games like this, as much as it's early in the season, you have to. But in terms of that question, Tone, sorry, you're right. It's very much, again, it's like the people saying the horseshoe pattern where you're back and forth, back, and that you're checking what avenues and stuff like that. There needs to be a variation, and that's where I think, and I know you've kind of had your doubts about him, but I think once he grows a bit more as well, you see certain balls where Subramani's trying to clip it over the top. He was the one for both of them goals, pre-assisted. Yeah. And he also played the ball where Timber that led to the penalty. He's also a good line breaker, that deep block breaker, that kind of player. He's a line breaker, like Eza, sorry. Again, they are vitally important now, Tone. Eza, Subamendi, and getting a player like Gyökeres, and out in the box menace. That's what it needs. But like you said, you're 100% right, Tone. Is he needs to be fed a bit more as well. So you got to imagine. I want you to have a look when we come off air, because I can't, because I'm using my mobile. I can't kind of share with you. So I apologise, guys. My laptop was playing up, and I want we want to have a perfect stream. There's a passage of play when we played in the midweek Champions League game. Erdegaard was on. He had an absolutely fantastic game. The camera shows you his vision, right? Gyökeres, say the defender's there, Tone. Gyökeres is making that run into the space. Erdegaard is behind him. He's not played him in. And then Gyökeres has stopped, and Erdegaard's carrying the ball, and then Erdegaard's gone that way, and it looked like he could have a gap. And again, he's not played the ball. We have to change our way as well to suit the way Gyökeres runs, because Gyökeres will make high impact, what they call high impacting runs throughout the game. And I know you said obviously off air you're struggling to get the stats. I mean, we'll try to do a bit more, but if you have a look at that, Tone, you'll see his constant running. We have to also learn to get the best out of Gyökeres. As much as he's done a fantastic job so far, you'll get more goals if we learn how to use him.
Just to interrupt you there, I think I couldn't share it because of copyright reasons, but
okay,
if you Google it, have a look at Gyökeres' heat map against West Ham.
Excuse me, yeah.
You need to know about the work rate that he's putting in.
Yeah.
I lost my trail of thought there. So
yeah, so what I would say while you're thinking of that is that question, I don't think he has, but that's the right formula when you're playing Gyökeres. That's the answer to the question.
Do you think we play too safe?
You know what? This is the problem is I don't think there's an Arsenal fan watching or Arsenal fan out there who would kind of say to you, you know what, Arsene Wenger played turgid football, because we know it's not the truth. The problem with us, with under Wenger, I think the attacking kind of went, when his last couple of years, we were a little bit, it wasn't as fluid as it used to be. But Wenger would play some fantastic football, but we could not defend, you know. But Wenger, he stuck with it and stuck with it. It's finding that right formula where you can defend as good as we are now, but play
Yeah.
fantastic football. Jose Mourinho, right, for Chelsea, came in and he literally got one of the best keepers in the world at the time, or he developed into it. So in Petr Cech, they conceded what, 15, 16 goals first season, won the league because he was hitting teams 1-0 and shutting up shop. You know, and I think Arteta can do that, but it depends what we kind of want as fans. You know, if he's getting to game week 30, and we're 4 or 5 points clear, for hypothetically speaking, you know, and you're seeing games out 1-0, and you know your teams around you are struggling, or they're catching up with you. We're not going to be complaining if we're winning constantly. It's all about winning, son. But you know, it's the right formula. It depends how you say, as you say, defensively and as a unit, we're fantastic. You know, it's unlocking the games against Liverpool. We didn't play great football, time. Man City, we've both said that, and I'm pretty sure other fans would agree. We could have gone at them. So you're right. He has to find that way, especially in the bigger games, to unlock his side from safety, and just unlock that to nick the goal. You know, to be a Mourinho, if you like. We wouldn't be, you know, because we beat Man City 1-0 at home. You'd say, well, we should have gone at them, but we won. Do you know what I mean? So it's such a swings and roundabouts time with
Yeah.
that kind of thing, mate. But the formula's right in defence. Let's put it that way. But I get what you're saying in attack.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a good test against Fulham.
Oh, mate,
what he
Buns,
does.
we got to win, mate. That we can't have another draw, Tone. We, you know,
No. But look, I think for once I've actually, you know, the weekend was a good weekend, right? Because for once we done what we should have done at home, right?
Yep.
There's been many occasions of last season where we should have done what we should have done at home, and we didn't. But then Liverpool went and lost, and we didn't capitalise. The weekend gone was the first time in a while I've actually seen us take advantage of a situation that was needed. Under a bit of pressure, had to go and win. 2-0, clean sheet. We've got to keep going on that stuff. That's the only way we're going to win the league, because we've got to catch them points up. Right? Because then you can afford to go away to the Etihad and nick a draw. You can afford to go away to Chelsea and get away with a draw, because you're them 100%. Games at home, you're getting your 3 points. That's where the league's going to be won or lost for me.
You know what I was looking to back up your point there, Tone. Sorry again, dude. I don't want to just talk over. I just want to add to what you're saying, because you're making a valid point. And if you look at it, and I mean this in all due respect to those that, because as we said, no game is easy. But if you say look at the bottom 9, 10 teams and go, right, we're going to play them twice. We need to be looking at, say, if you're playing them, bottom 10, 20 games, we need to be looking at winning 16 or 17 of them to be looking to win the title. Because you know that top 10 is going to be the more difficult places to go, to win, and stuff like that. So that's it's a step in the right direction with West Ham, but this is another challenge. We have not done well at Fulham, Tone, and I know unfortunately, guys, it's a week and a half. Bloody, I don't want to know, because it's too long a wait till we play again, because we've got to go through 2 turgid international games. Not that I'll watch them, but you know, we got to wait again. But it's vitally important games like that, Tone. That's a step in the right direction against West Ham. Let's keep that up against Fulham.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, next question.
Go on, matey.
Will we miss Odegaard? I'll let you answer this one first.
Sorry, yeah. You know what? Again, with Eze, and like I said when we signed him, I think it also still allows for us to give breathing space for Wanyeri. I believe Wanyeri is going to be an absolute quality player. Let's not put the pressure on him, and I think that's what Mikel has not been putting him on. So, if you keep in Eze in the 10, you're going to be looking at, for next, say, month or so, especially with Madueke out, that you're going to be looking at Eze. Eze should be in a number 10. It'd be a toss-up, wouldn't it, do, between Martinelli and Trossard in terms of left wing, but keep the team as is. I think there's rumours that Havertz might be back pretty soon after the breakdown.
Yeah.
I listen. I love Ødegaard.
Do you know what?
I love Ødegaard. We will miss
Sorry
him.
to
You know.
stop you there.
Don't, go on, mate.
At this moment in time, I don't really rate Havertz, and I don't think we've missed him. And there's a massive
No.
debate on that, and I feel
No, I
like a
get
lot
what
of
you're
people will
saying.
debate me on that. But
Yeah.
if we would have sold him in the summer, I wouldn't even have known. I don't feel like I haven't sat there and gone, "Oh, we've missed Havertz. We could have done with Havertz."
No, I get you. No, 100%.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I think that we could have done with more than Havertz is Jesus, and that sounds really controversial, because I think he offers a little bit more than Havertz in an attacking threat. I would be more
when
happier.
Jesus is. Oh, sorry, Tom. When Jesus is in. When he's fit
in full,
and fully fit,
right,
he's brilliant.
I would be more excited with Gyökeres coming off and place of Jesus.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tony. I agree.
Havertz
I
off
agree.
the bench for Gyökeres.
Yeah.
Now, look, I mean, guys, there's people watching in the comments. Feel free to challenge that, but I don't think we've missed Havertz. A lot of people say, "Oh, we could have done with Havertz." I generally haven't come out of the 7 games we've played and gone, "We could have done with Havertz today," because I don't think he offers. I think Gyökeres hasn't hit form yet, and I agree with the previous comment. And he's still getting his fitness back. But in terms of the playing styles and how we play, I think Gyökeres is a better presser than Havertz. And same with Jesus. Jesus is a better ball playing flair player, right? That will move defenders around. Whereas Havertz, for me, yes, his work rate's good, but I think he's a very clumsy player in the sense that, well, he'll get you a header, and he has scored some good goals for us over the years. But I can't say that I'm desperate for him to come back. When he does come back, it's a great option. But I'm not going, "Oh wow, well, I really want Havertz back." I'm more sort of looking like I must admit, I've seen that Jesus is back in training. I'm like, Joe, what? Get him back into the fold. Get him and Gyökeres interchanging in game.
Could I ask you a question, Tony?
Go
on. What you would think of it, dude, and what I've just said. I'm gonna pass it to you because you do pass a lot of questions to me. It's about time I asked you. Dear. That's quite true, though, Dad. Yeah, I mean, in terms of goal scoring, yes.
That's not a religious joke, is it?
Could be close to it. Yeah. Cheers for that comment. Cheers for that comment. I get what you're saying.
I think that when he's on form, like he started hitting form for he was a bit shit. But do you remember that game against Palace in the League Cup? He
hit a section of form. What I was going to say though, quickly, and thanks for throwing us off the guard there, Pa. But we appreciate the comment. No, please keep watching and add in your comments, guys. We appreciate it. What I want to add to you, and I'm going to ask a question to you. What you think? Yeah, say because do you remember when we were going? Oh, it's a failed one. He was playing Declan Rice, Havertz, Ødegaard, Martinelli, Nketiah, and Saka, and people were saying, "Why is Havertz? He's not a midfielder." Could you think that if you had a Gyökeres who's going to be your main number 9, Jesus that can back him up, that if you were struggling with Ødegaard's fitness, that you could go, and this is a question if you think it would work, and I'm going to throw that to you, having Eze, Havertz, and Saka behind Gyökeres? Would you think that would work? Would you think having, say, a Subamendi and Rice and have Havertz as your number 10 with them two, with Eze one coming from the left, Saka from the right? If you're struggling in terms of fitness for Ødegaard as well.
Yeah, but what I mean is, so you're finding a place for Havertz, and this is something I don't want Arteta to do. I don't want to find him a place for the sake of it. I don't think. And
it could be an option, Tone. It could be an option.
No, it is an option. But when you're doing your sacrifice in Eze, right, who's proven that he's better through the middle than he is on the left. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do we?
I wouldn't shoehorn Eze. Sorry, Tone. I wouldn't shoehorn Eze to the left. I know what you're saying.
Back to the question,
it's an option.
Will we miss Ødegaard? We will miss Ødegaard, but Eze is a good replacement.
Let's what I'm hoping, and it's not going to happen. Madueke being injured as well. Eze's going to play on international duty. Yeah, I'm hoping he might go for Morgan Rogers. He hasn't taken Jude Bellingham for some reason. But
He's got
let's
a bit of
wrap
an
as
attitude, though, hasn't he, Jude
he has
Bellingham?
got a major attitude problem. And to be fair, he's all about him when he goes and plays for England, but that's a different thing.
Yeah,
But Eza
yeah,
needs to be wrapped up for us personally in a selfish way, because I think in plan is number 10 is what's going to happen now. You know what I would say to you as well is as much as him and number 10, why I would go to the left, and we can't got that option now because Erdegaard's out. But why I wanted to, if I'd have Erdegaard fit, Eza would play from the left for me because I think
yeah.
Erdegaard needs to be in the
Because you
team.
can't not have that quality in your starting
No,
11.
exactly. He has to play, and
Yeah.
that kind of is like a shoehorn in tone, isn't it? But it's an essential one. My worry is obviously with Martinelli and Trossard, how their form's going to be, because we need Ezra's going to be on the ball, and is he going to? Are they going to be as effective? You know, one player I want to chuck a thing in as well that would, as I say, we've had this conversation. Would you agree, right? That if we had signed Semenyo on the left,
Mm.
that we would just literally have no issues whatsoever. I
Do you
don't
know
think
what?
we would. I
I
think
think
he's a great player.
Semenyo's a good player. He's a good player, but
Mm.
you got to look at the sense of would he be able to step up? Is he better than Martinelli? When Martinelli's on form, is he better than Martinelli? Because what you got to think of,
It's
you're
an
going,
argument. It is, yeah, it's a good
if you're
argument. So.
if you're saying I'll bring in Semenyo, right? That then means that Martinelli doesn't have a space in your squad, right? Or if
Speed
Trossard
us
was
up.
to go, if Trossard was to go,
Yeah.
then yeah, I think we need a top left winger. I still think Rodrigo is on the cards. If he, I mean, I don't know. I've not been
I
following
think
Real
it's his
Madrid, but
attitude problem. I think Tone as well.
yeah,
He's one. He's got a big
I,
attitude problem. That boy.
I do think that in January, if Rodrigo hasn't played for Real Madrid, I think go and put a loan option in. That's another option, right?
It could be a good
On the
option.
left.
It could be a good option, Tone. I would only say that happens. Sorry, mate, but I think that only happens if Jesus goes. Someone was saying that
Yeah,
with in regards to Rodrigo, because of the positions he takes up, he could
yeah,
actually be. It would be if you get rid of Jesus and you say actually, then bring someone like Rodrigo in. Rodrigo is one of them, Tone, that he's still there. He's had the option, and we actually gave him an option. Yeah,
yeah,
it wasn't. I don't know. Personally, I prefer Eza. Always have done. People were saying if we're going to go for someone as big like that, our funds would have either been to Rodrigo or to Eza. So Rodrigo wanted to stay at Real Madrid meant we got Eza. I've liked Eza for years. I'm not going to carry on. You know what I've said. I like the geezer for the last 2-3 years. He's just been going up and up. And I
yeah.
think that would have been a bit. You would have got Rodrigo, but we wouldn't have got Eza. And I think what's going to happen, Tone, in January. I don't think we're going to make a massive signing, unless say for argument's sake, Martinelli's unhappy. Maybe, and you might go, all right. Well, we might have to sell Jesus, unfortunately, because you might have to have Havertz as Gyökeres number 2.
Yeah,
That might I
yeah.
can only see us signing a player if a couple of 1 or 2 players leave. So yeah,
My
you're that's a good idea,
my
but
argument on
I don't think we'll
Jesus
do it.
is he can play across the front three. I think he offers more benefits than Havertz does. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
And I'll probably get a lot of pelters for that opinion. But I think a fully fit Jesus is that's his problem, right? He can't stay fit. But that first season we signed him, how good was he? He was brilliant, wasn't
he
he?
was
So
fantastic. You know what I want to put to you quickly as well. Is and it's controversial, but before I become an absolute dickhead, you know who Havertz reminds me of, and he has the potential to be like Van Persie.
who Havertz?
Havertz.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
And what
I'm
I'm
not
saying,
sure about Havertz.
what I'm saying is in terms because we used to play as much as we don't like him as well. We used to play when we lost Thierry Henry. We had Eduardo coming in, but we had Van Persie and Adebayor were playing up front, and
Yeah.
you got a left footer and a right footer up front. I think they can work together is why I'm saying that comparison. I'm not saying he's going to be as prolific as a 2011, 2012 Van Persie.
You
I mean, I don't like the geezer. He's a
I
Judas.
can't look Van
But
Persie's a Judas, but I can't believe you're comparing Havertz to Van Persie.
no, I'm saying he could be like that, in
I
terms of
don't
it. Because
see it, mate.
listen, Van Persie wasn't a striker. Yet again, that was a bit of Wenger magic. He was a winger with an attitude problem. And the thanks Wenger got for turning him into one of the best strikers in the Premier League for 2 years. He won the Premier League with Man United. He would have won us if we had a better team. But he was the best Premier League striker for about 2-3 years. He was banging goals in like nothing. That's because of Wenger. Yeah, but he was a winger as well. Havertz is an attacking midfielder. He could finish at Bayer Leverkusen. Tone. Chelsea absolutely ruined him. We've got a tune out of him, and I think don't underestimate him in the later stages of the season,
Yeah.
especially if Gyökeres is struggling. Tone. Listen, listen, please don't put that on TikTok so people start hammering me. I'm
I
just saying
think
he
we
can be
should.
like
I think I'm
like
going to
a
snippet the
you know.
guys. Snippet the Van Persie. He's going to be like Van Persie. I'm going to snip that.
I just think I think you're underrating a fully fit Havertz. I think that guy can get
I'm not
15 to
underrating
20
him.
goals fully fit.
He's a squad player for me. He's not. He's got good
Mm.
qualities, but I don't look. All right, let's put it this way: if he was as good as you're saying he is, right, then why didn't we win the league last season with him
We had to,
as our
he
front
was
man?
injured. He got injured, didn't he? He was injured for 3 months. Havertz was injured. Jesus was injured rest of the season. We lost Saka. We had Erdegaard out for a set amount of things. We lost a good amount of players.
Yeah,
And I think if you look at it from January onwards, Tone, it could have changed. Whatever you want to say about PGMO and Liverpool, that's neither here nor there.
yeah.
You have to beat the team in front of you. But we had terrible injuries from January onwards. If you had Havertz fit for the whole season, he could have done something for us. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but
I
I
was
just
just
think
thinking, I need a pint of beer talking to you about Havertz.
Listen, I'm just yeah. As I say, it's an opinion, and like you say, it's a
No,
fresh debate because you don't rate him as highly as that, and I don't look at it from the Chelsea aspect.
yeah,
I think Havertz, take away him being an ex-Chelsea player, the player that I saw at Bayer Leverkusen, I think you can still get that player back, and he was an absolute handful. I just think he's sometimes prone to his Chelsea form, but he was a fantastic prospect at Bayer Leverkusen time. So I'm keeping my
all right,
fingers crossed.
all right, cool. Moving on to the last question of the night. We've been going
Yeah.
for 40 minutes. Guys, there's people still watching. Please get involved in the chat. We'll put it up on the screen, discuss it with you. Do you think we are favourites to win the league given Liverpool's form?
I'm going to bounce it as quickly as I can back to you, matey. But I think Liverpool. I think the amount Liverpool has spent, they should still be favourites, just because we're sitting top after 7 games. I think this is just the media chucking it back onto Arsenal because that's
Yeah,
what they want to do, and they want to have a laugh become the end of the season, as a lot of rival fans do. Liverpool have got, again, Tone, like you've said, they think they got the best striker in the Premier League on form, bar Haaland, I suppose, second best. They bought Verts for 100 and odd million, 115, between
he's
115,
underwhelmed.
130,
He's underwhelmed
right?
so far, isn't
Exactly. Ekatike for 90 odd million. Yeah. Then they've got that Gyökeres left back. They've got Frimpong. These guys have spent close to 450, between 450 to 500 million. And there's got Sky Sports going there in transition. I beg your pardon. They've
he? Yeah,
got one player gone from that team, and that's Trent. They are not in transition when you've got Van Dijk and Canate at the back. Allison might be injured, but he's their number one keeper, Tony. He's won stuff with them. You got Salah, who was banging goals in for fun last year. Don't tell me they're in transition. They bought two of the most expensive strikers in the Premier League who anyone's bought. They've bought them. They're the two most expensive. They have no excuse to not win it. So they should be favourites. I
yeah.
don't believe we should be labelled favourites. No.
Do you think that Slopp's now under a bit of pressure because he's inherited Klopp's team, right? He didn't make it. Well, he didn't make any signings. Did he come straight in? That was the squad.
Hmm.
Do you think he sort of jumped on Klopp's good work and won the league in a league where we didn't have the best of luck with injuries. We weren't. I mean, we dropped a lot of points, and obviously they've just capitalised on that because they weren't favourites. They weren't favourites to win the league last season. It was Man City and Arsenal that were favourites at the start of the season, if you remember rightly.
Yeah.
I think this season is interesting because there's a lot of pressure on them to retain their title, and they've been
Yeah.
literally brought up to be the favourites. They've bought these attacking players, they spent loads of money. So I think that you're right. I think the media's passing it back to us because we beat Newcastle and we are in the ascendancy now to go. We're top of the league. Now the pressure is on us. And one thing I'll go back to Arteta. I'll go back to him. He has to win something this season. So
yeah,
it's going to bounce around. If he drops points against Fulham, which is very likely,
it'll be back. It'll be back. Liverpool favourites.
It'll be back. We're gonna have this conversation a lot this season because it's going to bounce to and from who's favourites. Now, I think that Liverpool are still slightly favourites, but the only thing I'd say about Liverpool is the opposites to us. We've got a better defence. They've got a better attack.
Yeah.
Now, if we can tweak our formation to make our attack, if Gyökeres starts firing, right, I do think we are favourites. But I think Liverpool slightly edge it because they've money they've spent and the players they've got and the quality they've got. But then it comes down to whether Slot is that good of a manager. Second season in, I think had a little bit of luck. I think Klopp done all the hard work, pissed off. Slot jumped straight in, and then he's had that success. So there's 1 second.
Can I jump in as well and agree with you and say also as well, Tone, please look at it as well. Keep that question up quickly because I'm going to finish this one. But he's had a Man City team and an Arsenal team below par. He's inherited Klopp's team. All he's added is his ability his fitness ability, which was what they're saying at Feyenoord and what he's brought into the Premier League, where he's keeping players fit and fresh and firing. That he won that with Klopp's team. Let's see. This is his team. He spent 450 million. Let's see what it is. But cheers, Ed boy. Let me just quickly read that, my friend, and we'll I'll pass it over to Tony first. But I'll quickly read it. Tony, if you want to answer first, matey, and I'll.
Yes, we are the best overall squad. But here's a question to you guys: who's best mid 6'8" in the Prem world? Rice. Who's the best Premier League player in the world? I'm guessing in the number 6 or 8. Well, Rice, Casado, Pedri, or Rodri. Good question. Is that the world or the Prem?
Yeah. So what it is why he's saying that is because Rice, Casado, and Rodri are in the Premier League. Pedri is from Barcelona. He's a fantastic player. In fact, that's a very, very tough question, matey. He's a fantastic player. You know what? Rodri.
I'm going to go on the whim here, right? I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Wayne. I'm going to jump in.
No, mate, go on, please. You answer the question if you can. That's a tough question.
I would say Rice for me. I know I'm being biased.
I was going to say that as well.
Supporter.
I'm sorry, but he is.
Can Casado, can he play in the number 8 role? No, he can't. Rice can play in the 8 and the 6 and do. All right, there's been debates where Rice doesn't play that role very, really well.
Yeah.
But I think when he does get put in that role, or he does play in that role, he offers us attacking threat as well. Like he scored the goal against West Ham.
Yeah.
When the game first started, we had that. He was
fluid,
the
6, wasn't he?
Right? Number 6. We was fluid. The ball was moving. Do you know what? On that, actually, I'm really, really gutted that we couldn't see 70 to 80 minutes of Eze and Odegaard in them number 10 roles, because I reckon we would have absolutely smashed the crap out of West Ham. I reckon we would have got 1 goal and it would have been the floodgates would have opened because them two would have been running riot. But
can I add to Ed boys as well? And the argument is, Tone, at number 6 as well. I love Declan Rice at number 6. Yeah. He's absolutely fantastic. He was world class for us at number 6. And again, like you said, it's so gutting that you couldn't see Eze and Odegaard because they're going to be hard working. They'll drop back and cover for him as well. But Declan Rice in front of that, you would not want anyone. And then all of a sudden, and that's a fantastic question. We appreciate that question. Thank you very much, Ed boy. But you look at it, what you've just said there, Tone. Rice was in the 6. We lost Odegaard. Subamendi come on, and Rice is in the 8.
Yeah.
You know, he is so underrated. I wanted him again, like Eze. When we signed him, I was chuffed, Tone.
I think if you'd have asked me that question 2 seasons ago, I probably would have said Rodri purely because number 6, he was a solid. But I think given now, there's always discussions. Like Rice was quality against West Ham, and he hasn't really got going yet. That's the scary thing about Rice.
He hasn't even got going yet. He's not
So,
even out of second gear.
and
Even halfway between first and second, Tony. He really isn't.
I still have that thing now where when Odegaard comes back fit, I still want him to try that role where he puts Rice in that. But then we're
Yes.
playing when we're playing a low block teams at home. Say like you got Sunderland away, or we're playing I don't know Burnley at home. I want him to go with the
100%.
two number 10s and just run.
Yep.
Let them run free and run right.
That's the
Because
only way to play, Tone.
don't go rigid. Right, all right, I get going away to Fulham. Our next game, I'm expecting him to go very, very strict in that midfield where Rice, Zubimendi, keep it nice and tight because it's not going to be an easy game. But I do think at home we need to be expansive. That's the only way we're going to pick up the 3 points we need. We cannot afford. I'm going to keep saying this in every single stream. We cannot afford to drop points in them areas.
No,
we're not going to we're not guaranteed to go away to Etihad and win. Liverpool at home, we've still got to do this season. Newcastle at home, they're going to come and beat, and they're going to want revenge. They're going to be rough, and that's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah.
We need to open spaces where we can afford to drop points because we are going to drop points. But yes, we need to do it. But also in the areas where we're on paper, we should be winning games. Our home games, we should be winning. That's the only way we're going to win this league.
Yeah, 100%. So, as I say, it does start against Fulham, but you're right, and I think there's room, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be Rice, Zubimendi, Fulham. But obviously, when we start getting past the point of this bloody internationals, well, we will do we'll do a couple of videos, but we'll do our own thing. So I'm not going to step all over that. But I think he tried it in Havertz's first season, and he tried. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if it was like no, it was Rice, Erdegaard, and Havertz was the midfield. I think that it's unless you kind of go Wanyeri, he's not going to do it. You know what might upset you, Tony? You might end up doing like a Marino. Do you know what I mean?
I can see it, but
you know,
I think he's the sort of player you bring on like he did at Newcastle. Last 10 minutes, if you want to nick a goal, then bring him on.
Yeah.
One thing that he needs to change is Trossard needs to be benched, and Martinelli. If you're going to play a winger, and Madueke that injured, throw him in there, right? Because Trossard is not a starter. When he comes off the bench, he's a completely different player.
Yep. It's like he's angry, Tone.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
He always looks angry. He always looks funny angry, doesn't he?
You know, he does. But if you
remember,
I think obviously we had to meet. I think no, that's it. Erdegaard was injured, but the game against Aston Villa, he come on. He was benched. He come on. He scored the goal, and we secured it like 1-0. It was 1-0. He scored the goal, opened it up, and I think Partey scored the second, and that was 2-0. Game over. Have a look at his celebration. That was him going. He weren't sort of like doing his,
No, he was just doing
he's just staring into space like, and you think to yourself, what, you scored that goal, but then your form didn't pick up at all.
Yeah,
we lost Erdegaard. We needed you, and you frustrated the hell out of us for a month or so, until a month or two, 6 weeks till we got Erdegaard back. So yeah, you're right, Tone. Listen, we've been on here saying about Martinelli, but there's not one ounce of my bone in my body that wouldn't be wanting now to see a 22-23 version of Martinelli. I'll be totally happy with that. And who knows, could Eza be that catalyst for him? Let's hope so, but give him a go, definitely. Be a bit more Martinelli, Gyökeres, Saka, Eza against Fulham. Let's have it. But we'll come to that when it comes to it. We've still got a while yet.
It seems like a couple of months away, fucking international.
It's too long. It's too long time.
Honestly. I mean, I like the World Cup and the Euros, but all this pissing about. Do you know what the worst thing about it, right? And I'll say this before we'll start wrapping up for the evening.
Yeah.
The worst thing about it is we've picked up momentum. We've beat Newcastle last minute.
100%.
Got a result against West Ham. Liverpool have lost 2 games in a row, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going to ask me who does international break benefit more, it's Liverpool. They get to regroup. We've got players that we don't want Eze and Rice to go and play for England right now because they always play 90-minute games, or Rice does anyway. They come back knackered. Like when he come back from the last international break, I think he come off after 50 minutes because he was blown out his arse.
Yeah. Would
I know.
you, Tone, on them internationals? And sorry again to interject, but just what a thought from me, and I said it into the chat as well, and our friend in the chat will obviously back me up. I just think that you should have like a mini tournament, and what I mean by mini tournament is of your fixtures,
yeah.
of the play, like the, sorry guys, I'll spit my words out. It is late, please forgive me. For the qualifiers, I apologise. Have a bulk of it where you go. You don't do it in September. Do it in like October. Play the bulk of it in October. So it's like semi kind of shut down, if you like.
Yeah.
But you do it for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. They play internationals, game over, and for the rest, you don't have to play anything till March, because you are breaking up the start of the season. You get into momentum. You have 3 games, and then off for 2 weeks international. You come
Yeah.
back, you have 1 month, and then you're off for 2 weeks international. You have another month, and then it's 2 weeks of international, and it's just so frustrating. Tone, just bookend it in one section and then close it off and have a break for 4 months, 4.5, whatever it is, until March internationals come along. It's ridiculous, Tony. It's ridiculous.
I mean, why wouldn't we do it in the summer? If you do it if a tournament's held in the summer, why would you not do the qualifiers in the summer to get them out of the way? Then they're qualified.
There should
then
be.
do the odd
That's
friendly.
100% right. That, especially if it's qualifiers, you should be getting
Yeah.
them out of the way, and then let the boys have the 3-4 weeks that they might need at the back end of it. But do it in June. Get as many qualifiers as you can done, as if it's like a mini tournament, because you haven't got one, and then you'll have less qualifiers to do. That breaks up the season. Another thing as well, before we're wrapping up, but again on that, the clubs pay these players, the national teams don't. The problem you have is these players want to play for them, Tone. I get that, but do it all there, because you're paying these players 300 grand a week, for argument's sake. They go on international duty and they go out for a month or two, and you're losing them for what you want. There's got to be you've got to kind of, it's got to be rejigged, Tone. It's ridiculous.
I mean, there is the Arsenal women on. Well, they're losing 2-1.
Oh no.
To Paris FC. Oh no, sorry, ignore me. They're playing Lyon. I'm looking at a different fixture. Yeah, losing 2-1 to Lyon.
They lost at the weekend, Tone. They've been doing quite well, the girls. They lost 3-2 to City at the weekend.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we need to challenge for that. They're the only girls. They're the only team bringing trophies home at the moment. I think.
At the moment, yeah, the men's got to catch up with them, Tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. On that note, we'll leave it there. Been online for a while now. Hopefully it was entertaining and some good debates there. Again, the international break just makes these streams really hard, because there's no fucking football going on for us. So that we'll be back on. We'll find some other discussions. There's loads of news. We'll discuss the what we'll do. We'll do a player watch. We'll look at all our players out on international, and we'll see how they're getting on.
Yeah, definitely, Tone. Yeah,
and we'll find something to talk about.
Keeping our fingers crossed for no injuries.
Yeah. I mean, you always find something to talk about anyway. So just give you.
We'll come up with it. But no, well done for the questions tonight, Tone. And guys, just thank you very much for tuning in your questions. Me and Tony appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel.
Lovely. On that note, he's nicked my words. Have a lovely evening. Take care, guys. We're out of here.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.